You know, you're going to get similar symptoms like headache, maybe a little bit of feeling nausea, mild anxiety, irritability, similar to what your hangover is, right? Similar processes that your body is going through. You know, there's definitely a fear. There's a mix-up of hangover and withdrawal, and I think people mix up the two, but people mix them up because they have a fear. I think there is a fear, especially when somebody's trying to stop drinking alcohol, that they fear that the actual withdrawal is going to be much worse. But if you think about it, you know, you've stopped drinking alcohol before, right? You know, even if it was only for a day or two, 3 days, you know, when you've had a bad hangover before. So what extra symptoms do you expect to see now that you're, you know, all of a sudden you're stopping for good and you're going to get this withdrawal because you're stopping for good, because you've made the decision to stop drinking for good? It just doesn't make any sense, right? So I think for the vast majority of people, you're going to get either none or very mild symptoms, similar to the symptoms that you felt with your hangover, right? You know, that's the vast majority, very mild symptoms. I mean, some people are going to get moderate alcohol withdrawal, but they're used to that anyway. You know, if you've ever tried to stop drinking alcohol, unless you haven't tried in the last 3 or 4 months, you've never had a couple of days off, then, you know, I think just go down to your doctor to be on the safe side and tell them, you know, what's happening. But for most people, you know, you're going to get similar symptoms like headache, maybe a little bit of feeling nausea, mild anxiety, irritability, similar to what your hangover is, right? Similar processes that your body is going through. You know, it's just that your body is readjusting to the absence of alcohol now, right? You know, I remember some of the hangovers that I was getting when I was drinking, and some of the times in the morning I felt awful, completely awful. You know, I remember a few times waking up during the middle of the night thinking I was going to have a heart attack. It was that bad. And then spending 2 or 3 days just feeling ill. I guarantee you, I never went through that, any of that, when I stopped drinking alcohol, right? When I actually stopped, because I didn't have a lot of alcohol in the past 2 days. I stopped on the 2nd of January on New Year's Eve. I didn't drink a lot. And on New Year's Day, I had a small beer and I had half a glass of wine, and that was it. And that was my thing for that day. So when I stopped drinking alcohol, I didn't go through anything. I went through cravings. I went through, you know, some of the normal stuff that you expect to go through. But a lot of the stuff that I went through, I shouldn't have gone through, because it was my mind pushing me into that, into those feelings. You can turn up the dial, you can turn it down, right? That's end of story. You know, some people are going to try and convince you of that because they went through horrible things, and because they went through it, everybody has the risk of going through it. No. I mean, the risk is associated with the amount of alcohol that you've been drinking before. If you've been drinking so much alcohol that your body literally cannot come off it, right, without medical attention, without getting medication, that is a lot of alcohol, right? That is a lot of alcohol. You know, that is ignoring a problem for a long time before you've had to do something about it, right? It is what it is, right? Take care. Onwards and upwards.